All right, so breaking news coming in. Oracle, led by Executive Chairman Larry Ellison, is reported to be in negotiations to take over US operations of TikTok under a proposed framework between the US and China. The move comes amidst rising concerns over national security and legislation that requires ByteDance, TikTok's Chinese parent company, to divest or face a ban. US Representative Jamieson Greer has said that the TikTok agreement is designed to balance fairness for China while putting US national security at the forefront. Greer underlined that Washington wanted to ensure a fair investment for China in the US, but made it clear that national security would always remain the top priority. Jamieson also indicated that Washington may allow a short extension of the September 17 deadline for TikTok to finalize its framework deal. And he said that the extension would not have been possible without a framework already in place, signaling progress in negotiations between the US and the Chinese over the app's future. And China's top trade negotiator and Vice Minister of Commerce Li Chengyang has confirmed that Beijing and Washington have reached a basic framework consensus on keeping TikTok operational in the US. Li said that the two sides held candid and in-depth exchanges, agreeing to resolve TikTok-related concerns through cooperation, lowering investment barriers, and boosting economic and trade ties. He added that China would not accept any deal at the expense of its principles or corporate interests. Let me quickly get a response from Megha Sharma, who's still with me on the broadcast. Megha, TikTok, of course, being targeted by the American government for security reasons, but they are trying to work around it, through this deal. But the question is that will Donald Trump pull the plug on TikTok, considering the fact that it is extremely popular? In fact, it makes more money, the most money for TikTok from America.
Yes, in fact, quite the contrary. The U.S. president is very keen that this deal between the Chinese company TikTok, which is of course run by the parent company, which is ByteDance, stays in America, and therefore, and as a result of that, this was something that the U.S. President Donald Trump, during his first term, had been very keen on negotiating this deal, on the condition that the company be US controlled. And now we get to know, as you mentioned, that Oracle has been given the charge of purchasing this company, at least the US stakes of the company. And it is very important because the US government has been very categorical in its decision to do that, because of a number of concerns with regards to national security of American economy, of America as a nation. Now, there has been already a framework that has been finalized. We saw this meeting happening in Madrid yesterday between the Chinese vice minister of commerce, and of course Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary of America, were present over there. They have finalized this framework. They are waiting for US President Donald Trump to have a phone call with Xi Jinping that is going to take place expectedly on Friday. And Donald Trump himself, after the phone call, is expected to make an announcement that this deal is finally done. This deal is signed. We also saw in the past, during the Joe Biden administration, that the president had banned TikTok, this ban was revoked as soon as US President Donald Trump came to power in his second term. Remember, it is interesting to note that the American president's win has been attributed primarily to the popularity that he gained amongst the youth through TikTok. His son was hugely responsible for gathering momentum on the digital platform TikTok during the campaign period. So he
All right.
has been a champion of ensuring that TikTok stays in America. In fact, Donald Trump made a hint yesterday during his conversation with the media, and he said that there is a very important deal with a significant company that is going to be signed. It has been finalized, and he said that it is the desire and want of the young population of the country that has persuaded him to sign this important, significant deal. In fact, there was an executive order also that he had signed in January as soon as he came to power. The executive order said that the American economy, the American administration is very keen on having TikTok on board in America, provided
All right.
that TikTok's
All right, Megha,
American
we've run
stakes
out of
are
time.
controlled
Yeah.
by an American company.